Welcome aboard, all you ground troops spinning around smartly on the planet we call home, Gaia, Terra. We're Terrans, living on Terra. Maybe we're Gaians. I don't know. This is Earth. Hey, this is Paranormal Research with Aquarian Radio and TJ Morris ET Radio, and we're syndicating. So glad to have you aboard. This is American Communications Online, and we just lost Jaimy, so I guess he'll be back here in a minute, but I bet I can find Janet Carol Lessin. Janet, can you hear me now? Yes or no? Let's see here. Okay. Why is this not working? Am I going to have to call back in myself? Probably so. Okay, so am I not being heard?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yay, there you are. Yes, I can hear you now. And Jaimy was here, but go ahead and introduce yourself. Maybe he'll come right back in a minute. Go ahead. Miss Janet, want to introduce yourself?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can. Yeah. Jaimy is going to have to call back in, but can I hear you? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Miss Janet? There's Jaimy, so we'll get Janet back on here. Janet, you're coming in and out, sweetie, so we're going to, well, who's calling me? That must be Janet. Let's see. Okay.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh. I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm here, Santa Care Lessin from Maui, Hawaii, and we have a really good show with Jaimy, Mauricio. What is that? What's that phone call? What is that music?
That was Jaimy
that? Okay.
calling in. Jaimy Mauricio.
Really? I didn't know it made that noise. Okay. Hi, Jaimy. Let me introduce you. We're all chaotic today. It must be retrograde, whatever. Something's retrograde. Anyway.
Yay. Good
I'm
point.
retrograde. I don't know. So today we have Jaimy Mauricio and Valerie McLaughlin, and Jaimy is an author and researcher, and he wrote the book Beyond 2012, Watch Where You're Going. He felt a divine inspiration and a calling to write this book, and about 2 months prior, the entire story was somehow magically implanted in his mind, and he could not get it out of his head. Now I'm getting some feedback. Does somebody have a wind machine going?
Not I.
Not I. Okay. Anyway, I'll power through it. A lot of people get these downloads, musicians and artists and authors. There it goes. It wasn't until that day in August when he experienced a unique calling from someone he just couldn't say no to that he began writing. So Jaimy is originally from New Bedford, Massachusetts, and he holds a degree in chemical engineering and an MBA. And while working as an engineer and business professional, he researches and maintains an interest in metaphysics, consciousness, religion, history, and ufology. And Valerie's going to join us at the top of the next hour. And I don't really have a bio for Valerie because she's shy, I guess. Anyway, both Jaimy and Valerie are working on this conference, and it's coming up April 26th to the 28th called X-Filers United. And we're going to be talking about the conference and the people that are coming and the vision. And I guess that's all I want to say. Back to you two, Jay. Ready to bring Jaimy on? Although Jaimy said hi a couple
I can hear him. Jaimy, say your name properly. Is it Mauricio? Jaimy?
That is correct,
Mauricio?
yes.
Cool.
Yes, hello. This is Jaimy Mauricio, and I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Now, this is Janet Carol Lessin, and I'm Teresa J. Morris. But TJ Morris, you can say TJ or Jaimy. We used our voices. We got 2 hours set up here. Maybe a while till your partner, Valerie McLaughlin, comes on. I believe the last hour, possibly, from her cell phone from wherever she's going to be driving back to. So
Correct.
Tell us, where are you located and where does she live? And then we'll get you started on your background.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I live in Rhode Island. I moved to Rhode Island in 1999 and have been here since. I live in the Newport area, which is a lovely part of the state, and that's where I'm located.
Great. And where does Valerie live?
Valerie lives in Providence, Rhode Island, and it's a pretty small state, so you can drive across all of Rhode Island within about 45 minutes. But yeah, she's in Providence, and the actual conference that you mentioned, Ex-Filers United, which is next weekend, will be held in Warwick, Rhode Island, which is kind of in between where I live in Newport and where Valerie is in Providence.
Great. Now, can you help us out with, tell us a little bit about who you are, because all of us are paranormal researchers, but tell me how you got started. Did you get started from birth, or elementary, or high school, or college, or a job, or you just fell into it one day?
Yeah, I kind of fell into it in many ways. There were some signposts, I call them, along the way that I ignored, but I grew up, my upbringing was pretty much normal, very American-ish, I would say. I grew up in a lower middle class family, and I grew up, with the kind of mantra that you do good in school, get a good job, work hard, climb the corporate ladder, pay your bills, church on Sunday, barbecues and ball games on the weekend. Life's tough, and then you die, and that's kind of how things go.
Wow.
Like so many of us. And so I was, I as you mentioned, I attended university. I got a degree in chemical engineering. I was working as an engineer, and then went into finance, acquired my MBA, and I was working at a great company. And one day, this idea of the story was in my head, a book, and I was very much a math and science guy, not very much on the art side. And so one morning I woke up and this whole story was in my head, and it was a book, and it's a science fiction book that I ended up writing, and it's got a spirituality component to it. And I woke up that morning and told my wife that this idea was in my head, this book, and it wasn't a dream. It just somehow magically implanted there. And I write about this in the foreword of the book. I basically ignored that, this wherever it came from, this whole story, and for months. And then that one day in August, something happened where it was almost like the universe, divine intervention, whatever you want to call it, basically said, no, you need to write this book. And as a result of writing the book, I fell into the paranormal. I fell into what I call as I awakened. I started realizing, wait a minute, there's more to life here. There's more than just what you see on your CNN or your news show that you watch. And what and what we've been taught, and so that's when I really dove right into the paranormal and the ufology, and quite frankly, a lot more of the spirituality, which I think they're all connected.
Great. Well, Janet, go ahead.
Is your book it's fictional, right? But it's based on fact, or what is this? Tell us about your book. It says, let's see. Something about the Hadron Collider in Geneva.
Hadron.
And Hadron. Collider Hadron.
Let's hear how you say it. Is it Hadron or whatever she said?
Hadron. What did I say? Hadron. Anyway, sorry. Hadron.
That's okay. We all talk
Hadron.
Hadron. We don't judge.
Anyway, the Hadron Collider. And it went out of control. It went out of control, and the black hole formed, and it's consuming the Earth, and the world's going to be destroyed. And oh my! So anyway, you have this whole story.
Yes.
Tell us about it. Tell us about your book. Yes.
Yeah, certainly. Thanks for asking. Yeah, thanks for asking. So the story is really about, and it's called Beyond 2012, and it was written. I started writing it in 2008, and it was really about. First of all, it begs the reader to ask, what's important in life. But the science fiction part of the book basically is about these 4 lifelong friends with different faiths. One is an atheist, one is a Buddhist, one is a Muslim, and one is a Catholic. And the Large Hadron Collider goes awry, as you mentioned, and it forms a micro black hole. And the scientists are doing everything they can to contain this black hole. And for those who don't know, the Large Hadron Collider is basically a 17-mile circle under the ground in Switzerland that was built years back to basically find what's called the Higgs boson particle. And they're smashing atoms at high speed, almost at the speed of light, and they're looking at these small subatomic particles that are coming in and out of this dimension to also figure out, how things are traveling through the different dimensions. And discovering different subatomic particles, and basically the Higgs boson, which makes up matter in essence, or is the God particle, they call it. It's the particle that makes everything. So in the story, that it goes awry, they create a black hole, and they tell the people of the world that this is happening, and so there's massive panic. And these 4 lifelong friends of different faiths who are living throughout the U.S. Make it back to the hometown they grew up, which is near Boston, and they come together and they debate during the course of the book whose faith is right, what will happen. The atheist saying nothing will happen, or it's just blackness, and then the other saying no, there's more, and the Buddhists each one giving their perspective. And as you read the story, one of the main characters, he's crushed in one of the buildings that collapses, and you think maybe he's not with us any longer, but he wakes up and he's in this tunnel with all these people and all different parts of the world, and they see images on the wall of this tunnel. Everyone sees images from their own life, and the main character walks in this tunnel, and the very, very far end of the tunnel there's a light. So everyone's kind of walking towards there, and he's meeting people along the way, and everyone has different perspectives of their life, and some are seeing images, and some people are realizing, wow, why did I do that, or why didn't I do this? And then when the main character gets to the light, everyone's going into this light, he realizes that, becomes one with the universe. It's kind of this universal consciousness, this peace. And he feels connected with everyone and everything, and much more empathy and much more compassion, and just connected with this universal love and energy, and realizes that, God, or whatever the universal being, whatever you want to, name you want to give it, is all love and connectedness with everything. But he wakes up. He hasn't passed. And what you realize is that he had this unconscious dream while he was, being rescued, and essentially many people around the world have had this similar experiences where they feel connected, and basically humankind is going through this evolutionary process where they're becoming more connected, and these people that have had these experiences, like the main character in the book, basically become these messengers or these enablers for the world to transform with more love, compassion, and connectedness, and realizing, that there's more than just, what the mainstream has kind of been telling us for so long, and kind of the ego-driven society that we've created.
All right. What'd you think of that, Janet?
And that came all in a download, so it sounds...
Yeah, that's what makes it unique.
What
so
a
really,
download.
Yeah.
So I'm
Jamie,
curious
really?
with all that. What religion were you raised in? Because we look at our imprinting, and when we come in, we are typically imprinted with the culture and the religion that we're born into.
He's
American. Within America, we have religion. So what religion were you born into? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I was born as a Catholic, so I was raised as a Catholic, and actually still practice the faith, to tell you the truth. Well, I still attend service, and it's made this writing the book and what it's led me to, all the research that I've done and all the experiences I've had because of writing the book, has made me actually more spiritual than I was previously.
Wow, me
too.